Hello and welcome back everybody to Without Within 2. So, last episode we got to meet the great Excelia. And right now she is looking at Vinty's calligraphies. And she's probably gonna tell her that they suck. But we'll see. Maybe Vinty is the greatest artist ever, and we just didn't know. My heart raced as Excelia leaned toward the display. Her perfume could probably charm just about any man. It even got me pretty good, truth be told. Oh well, to each their own. It's off to a good start, Excelia muttered before pulling back with a smile. To be fair, I never expected she would be moved to tears or anything. I took that blurry photo with my 3-year-old phone after all. At least she had the courtesy to hold back her punch, leaving me with only a bloodied nose rather than a broken one. I still had a bitter taste on my tongue though. Oh, this is a metaphor. I was already wondering, what punch? It's a metaphor. I get it. Indeed, Excelia boasted a more impressive portfolio, but hype must have played its part as well. If I had the same marketing power, surely I would also be noticed. Yeah, the thing is, she probably was good, and then she got the marketing power. The missing part in the equation is your talent, Vinty. Probably. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I assume so. Speaking of hype, Excelia could catch a cold and the news would report on it. This could be my opportunity to get a leg up, as people like to say. Do you say that? Oh well. It felt wrong to use Excelia as a stepladder, but this might be my only chance. Oh my god, is she really asking that right now? Oh my god, I'm like... There is a German word called Fremdschämen. And it basically means you're ashamed for other people. That's what I'm feeling right now. Do you think you could share my works on Twitter or Reddit? I asked. I had already made it big on YouTube, so I guess those two sites would be... Oh my god. Oh my god. Excelia narrowed her eyes at me. Oh no, now I had done it. She should ban me from her event for making such a shameless request. If I apologized and returned to my seat now, maybe I could still be spared from entering her blacklist. Just email me some photos, Excelia said as her smile returned. Okay, woo, you're lucky there. The last time I sent Excelia a fan mail, she never replied, so I thought she had no time for peasants like me. Maybe she just had too much on, because in person she was sweeter than a banana split. Or maybe she's just like calming you down and she will never share it anywhere. I thanked her over and over as I attached several photos of my works into an email on my phone. Note to self to hit that send button as soon as this plane landed. A chef marched up to us with a plate on each hand. After presenting the plates to Excelia and me, he pulled the lids off. The smell of fries and potatoes wafted into my nostrils and made my mouth water. Good to know wealthy people ate chips too. True that. If they only ate fancy stuff, I don't want to be rich, you know? There's so much weird stuff people eat. Oh well, anyway. I'm blabbering nonsense again. For my meal, it looked like I had ordered a sausage that coiled around to resemble dog poo. Sorry, it was just the first thing that came to mind. Sounds very delicious. But really, they should have just named this dish World's Tiniest Sausage. I could never understand why rich people paid so much for these tiny servings. True. As for Excelia, I thought she would have seafood or something other classy dish, but it turned out she had ordered a beef burger. I found that kind of cute actually. Excelia picked up a napkin from the plate and tied it around her neck. Phew, I was just about to use mine to blow my nose. Thank God I waited. I looped the napkin around my neck just like Excelia did. Fake it till you make it, as people always said. I might have just taken my first step towards stardom. Excelia started to cut a burger with a knife and fork. That I also don't understand. Oh well. If I cooked her a bowl of rice, would she cut the grains one by one? Rich people simply refuse to ever get their hands dirty. Determined to follow in Excelia's footsteps, I picked up my utensils. The sausage kept bouncing off my knife like a cockroach darting past a pair of slippers. I peeked at Excelia and realized I held my knife and fork the wrong way around. You didn't learn that? Yeah, well, maybe wherever you're from, you probably don't eat that much with a knife and fork. I mean, at this point I have really no idea where you are from, but you know, maybe you're using chopsticks normally. After shifting the knife to my right hand, I managed to slice the sausage apart. As Excelia and I dined, a few people came by to snap pictures of us. It sure felt nice to be recognized. Yes, I knew these people came for Excelia. Just let me drown in my fantasy for a while. Hey, maybe, like on our videos on Reddit, there will now be like a video of crazy calligraphy girl and star calligrapher Excelia in a plane together. I bet that would make the front page of Reddit, actually. A male fan walked a little too close with that camera, and one of Excelia's guards stood up to shoo him off. Excelia usually charged money for photos in conventions, so it made sense. When Excelia finished her meal, she tapped the napkin against her lips. I copied her right away, since this too could be a part of her winning formula. Oh god. Thank you for treating me. I really hope I can shout you back someday, I said. Excelia waved her hands to indicate there was no need. Ha! Me shouting Excelia? Yeah, maybe to some ice cream in a convenience store. By the way, would you mind taking a picture with me? I asked, hoping I might receive better treatment than those fans from earlier. Excelia glanced towards one of her guards, who waved a hand across his neck to indicate no. In the end, all Excelia could offer me was an apologetic smile. Ah, that is strange. So she has the power to let her sit beside her, but not to make a photo for free? That seems rather random, but okay, I'll accept it. I considered reminding Excelia to plug my work on social media, but I had already troubled her enough, so I got up in silence and returned to my seat beside that sleeping couple. Ah, at least you got a little bit normal. I mean, you could have said goodbye or see you soon or something at least, but you know, better than reminding her to plug you. God. After getting a taste of first class, the chairs back here felt so cramped. If I forced some of those rich snobs to sit here, the shop might cause them to have seizures. I stared out my window at the darkened sky. The sun must have gone to sleep during my time with Excelia. I sighed, feeling disappointed that I had missed the sunset, but at least I still had the sunrise to catch tomorrow morning. Without those blinking lights on the wing, I might have thought someone had painted the window black. Ah, excuse me. Riding a plane did have its boring parts after all. I might as well try and sleep, but I wanted to savor every second I had on this plane. Unlike the couple next to me, I had no idea when I would get another chance to travel. Besides, I doubted I could sleep much in this small place anyway. I mean, you're pretty small too. I guess you'd fit. Oh well, let me shut my eyes and try to sneak in a nap. I thought I had only taken a quick snooze, but when I opened my eyes, the glaring sunlight made me squint. Turned out I was one of the select few who could sleep on a plane. If I had known, I would have set my phone alarm so I could see the sunrise. Drifting through the clouds fascinated me at first, but by now they amused me no more than the night sky. At least riding a bus meant having traffic to look at. Oh, again a video I could show. Huh. Do we do that right now? Yeah, let's do that right now. So, ladies and gents, this is Sydney to Melbourne, mid-flight. So it's not 100% true to our story. But, you know, you see Australia, I guess that is what the sense of all this is. Although I can hardly... Like, I see fields, and there is dark green in between. Are these, like, forests in between? Or is that... To be honest, I can't really see. But it's probably forests, I guess, or trees, or maybe mountains. I don't know, it's probably too far above. But looking cool. So, that was some airborne interesting stuff. Drifting through the clouds fascinated me at first, but by now they amused me no more than the night sky. At least riding a bus meant having traffic to look at. True, I actually like sitting in a bus and watching cars travel by and, you know, the houses and the lights, well, depending on where you drive, of course. But then I glanced down and spotted the landscapes situated miles below, so we must be nearing our destination. We first passed a maze of treetops, and as we advanced, more and more buildings started to emerge. The traffic below also picked up in number. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Oh, that is a flight attendant's voice. Might a man be. I'm not judging people by their gender, only by their color, or what was the Martin Luther King thing. Anyway, bad jokes are bad. A flight attendant's voice sounded through the speakers. She spoke in a formal tone as if recording an audiobook. Okay, it is a female. Well then. We are now arriving in Melbourne Airport, the lady continued. Please return to your seats and fasten your belts as we prepare for landing. The couple beside me already had their seatbelts on. Jeez, they could have nudged me awake. If I had stayed asleep, I doubt that they would have bothered strapping me in. I quickly clipped on my seatbelt, worried our plane might land in the next second. The lady next to me yawned, showing no interest in watching this plane land. Her loss, I thought as I gazed out of the window. I could hardly make out the buses below, let alone the people. Perhaps that was how Excelia saw the rest of us named Calligraph. Saw the rest of us no-name calligraphers. The plane swayed back and forth as it descended toward the airport ahead. Any time now, I thought, but 5 minutes passed and we still had yet to land. My ears started to throb as if someone was gushing water into them. I had read online that chewing gum while landing could help with this type of discomfort. Yes, I always did my research before embarking on an adventure. Too bad I had left my chewing gum back in the apartment, making it all kind of pointless. I know that feeling. Cabin crew, prepare for landing, came the announcement. But either the speakers sounded muffled, or my right ear needed to get checked. Probably a bit of both. At least it still worked better than my left ear, which could no longer pick up a single sound. I hoped both ears would be fine again once I landed. At last. God damn it, what kind of nonsense am I reading today? I'm not doing good so far, I'm not doing good. At last, the plane descended into Melbourne Terminal. I waited for the wheels, which I assumed were lowered at this point, to make contact with the runway. As those wheels met the pavement underneath, I swallowed my gasp and managed to save myself the embarrassment of freaking out. The plane did weigh, gosh, I had no idea how much, so I should have expected the landing would be pretty rough. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Melbourne Airport. I beamed upon hearing that announcement. Well, only my right ear had heard a muffled version of it, but all good. Another video. Well, let's see what this is. So it's a very long video about landing in Melbourne. So I just chose to, have like the final bit where they're landing and you can see what's down below. That's kind of interesting. Wow, how close that all is. And all in nothingness. It's amazing. Well, let's skip a little bit forward to the actual landing. Yeah, it's really like a little bit looking like an earthquake happening, Rather fascinating. Rather fascinating. Yeah, later now it is a bit better, I guess. Well, okay then. So, let's continue, shall we? The staff spoke on through the speakers. The local time, I'm not doing an Aussie accent, by the way. I have problems speaking English anyway. Like, if I start doing accents, I might as well just stop speaking English. The local time is 10:20 a.m. For your safety, please wait for the seatbelt signs to turn off before making your exit. That couple beside me had already unclipped their belts. The second our plane stopped, they rose to retrieve the luggages from the cabinet overhead. Perhaps they might be getting mine as well? Probably not. The couple clicked their cabinet closed with my backpack left inside. They used their suitcases like bowling balls and knocked people aside as they headed for the exit. Never should have expected anything from people like that. I wished I could have spent this whole flight with Excelia instead. I mean, she didn't send you back, you could have stayed there. When I untied the seatbelt and stood to grab my backpack, a staff ran over to help. That kid nearby giggled at me again. If karma existed, he should grow up to become a shorty. I murmured thank you as the staff handed me my backpack. As I strapped on my back, the other passengers lined up across the aisle to exit the plane. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry right now. This is probably like already the 6th or 7th time I misread something. Not having a good day today. Not one of them offered me space to squeeze in, and in the end, I waited for every last person to pass before stepping out. A pair of flight attendants stood by the door. As I passed them, they bowed and wished me a nice day. The ear popping and landing might be rough, but riding a plane still made me feel like royalty. I offered the staff a wave as if I were the queen on a parade. Well, as long as you had fun. Rather than checking the signs, I trailed the other passengers, since they too must be leaving the airport. Excelia would have stood out with a rope and sparkles, but she was nowhere in sight. The staff must have left her exit first, being a frequent flyer and all. Still, knowing Excelia never waited for me made my shoulders slump a little. With so many business meetings to attend, she might have forgotten about our dinner already. Oh, you mean the dinner in the plane? Or did we plan to go to dinner together? And I forgot something. Oh man, I don't know. Oh, that reminded me. I took out my phone and hit send to deliver that email over to Excelia. Since I only had a backpack on, the security guard let me through much faster than those with suitcases. Sucked to be one of those rich people with a million things to carry. With that, I stepped outside the airport and greeted the sight of Melbourne for the first time. Oh, cool. I got an achievement. Melbourne. Well, I guess that kinda fits. Oh, another video. Let's firstly read the line. Was it weird to grin just because the taxis here were yellow instead of red? For those well-traveled, probably. As for me, I wanted to snap photos of every single thing that looked different. Well, let's watch the video then and see what looks different. So yeah, yellow taxis. I'm kinda underwhelmed because the taxis in Germany are also yellow. But I actually didn't know that there are red taxis. But you know, you never stop learning. You never stop learning. So, these were the first moments of Vinti being in Australia, seeing taxis. How exciting. Oh well. Oh well. I've never been to Australia, and now that I think about it, I actually don't know too much about Australia. I mean, I know what everybody knows, like a lot of kangaroos, Sydney is not the capital, stuff like that. Australia is not New Zealand and not the other way around, but except for that, I don't know too much about Australia. Too bad actually. The road before me consisted of almost nothing but taxis. I guessed in just about any country, taxis loitered in airports like mosquitoes buzzing around a bat. The pigeon count here sure was high. Some perched on those trees planted along the road, while others scavenged, whatever that means, the footpath for scraps. A limousine drove into the scene, its white bonnet glistening under the morning sunlight. As the crowd gathered around the vehicle, I joined in to see what was up as well. It's not hard to guess who's in there now, is it? After flashing its indicators, the limo steered into the taxi lane, taking up 2 car spaces with its long frame. The taxi behind it gave one long honk, followed by a series of short beeps. Uh-oh. The limousine and taxi drivers climbed out of their vehicles and stormed up to one another. I gulped as I was the one getting into a fight. The limo driver dug a hand into his suit pocket and pulled out a stack of $100 notes. With a flick of the wrist, he slapped these notes right across the cab driver's face. Ha! As if a man's pride could be sold this easily. Come on, taxi man, time to fight back and make us common folk proud. Not gonna happen. Thank you, my good sir. Have a pleasant day, the taxi driver said. With a bow, he took the money and crawled back into his car. Rich scums 1, everybody else 0. Light rays peered through the automatic doors next to me. Shielding my brows with one hand, I spun and saw Excelia walking out with a guard on each side. They do not look really threatening, to be honest. They look rather silly. It looks like I could take them. Really, it looks like I could whoop their ass whenever I wanted to. What kind of bodyguards are these? She exited the plane first, so I thought she was long gone. Maybe she went to the loo or something. I guess celebrities needed to relieve themselves too. Oh, and she's sparkling again. Exilia's sparkles explained why the place had suddenly turned so bright. Her shoes crossed each other as she pranced along like a model. The two guards shoved each other as they fought over the right to open the limousine door for Exilia. They had the same face, so I thought they would respect one another. But nope. Maybe they're brothers. Then it's normal. While they wrestled, a third guard popped out from the limo's rear door. With a smile, he clicked the front passenger door open. Exilia blew him a kiss as she entered, causing him to pass out. Okay, now this is... a bit over-the-top humor, okay, but this is all starting to get a bit too much ha-ha funny, you know? The wonderful Exilia. If she touches you, you die out of cuteness. Yay! But, you know, I can't complain. I can't even read this novel properly. So who am I to complain about anything here? So, we landed in Melbourne. I think this is actually a good point to stop now, isn't it? So, I wonder how all of this will play out. I could imagine very well that this will also not have a happy ending for Vinti. But, you know, you never know. We'll see about that. But, first I thought like Exilia would take her under her wing, but right now I don't think so anymore. It's probably all played more for laughs than actually like an adventure for Vinti. But we'll see about that. We'll see about that. So, thank you everybody for watching. Come back for the next episode, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.